Football can be very, very, very funny at times. Look at the match between Switzerland and Qatar yesterday. Switzerland were very comfortable in the game. They had the penalty, they converted it, but they had numerous chances, but they don't take their chances. And Qatar keeper was very, very good between the sticks for Qatar. And right at the end, Qatar went on to play for that game. Switzerland had the most possession, they had the most chances, and but they lacked that cutting edge. That finishing touch to seal the game within 19 minutes. Right at the end, the last kick of the match, Qatar equalized out of the blue without not playing much in the game. So, which means if you are playing a football game and you did not take your chances, your opponent will punish you. This is an unwritten rule about football. Football is a game of chance. The team that takes chances the most wins the game. Another match between Australia and Qatar and Australia and Turkey. Turkey dominated possession. They had the most chances. They have the biggest chances. They had the most possession of the ball. But Australia hit them with two soccer punch. Australia did not really do much. Their possession was 28%. Turkey possession was 72%. Then expected goals for Australia was 1.18. Then expected goals for Turkey was 1.36. The ball possession, look at it, 76-28. Then accurate passes. Turkey had 635 accurate passes to Australia 201. And Australia won by 2-0 without Turkey scoring one goal. Although Canon Hogu hits the post, Yeldis, they had Yeldis, Humans, and a lot of players that can make the difference for Turkey. But Australia, on fancy Australia, I don't really give them a chance. In fact, this is the first biggest upset in the World Cup. Look at the big chances. Australia had zero big chances. Then Turkey had two missed big chances. Turkey created two big chances. Australia had just one, they converted it. Then shots on target for Australia. Look at it. Total shot for Turkey was 30. Then Australia was just 9. And then shot off target, Australia was 4. Then Turkey shots off target was 10, which means they have 20 shots on target. And out of 20 shots on target, they did not convert to one. So if you are not clinical enough in a football match, you are going to get punished by your opponents. And the match between Australia and Turkey, then Switzerland and Qatar, show that clearly that you need to be clinical if you have to achieve success when it comes to football. So good one for Australia, then good one for Qatar, picking up their first point in World Cup history.